Hello and welcome back to Crosshatch Puzzles. We're here for another New York Times Daily Crossword Solve. I'm kind of on summer break right now, so won't be posting puzzles as regularly, but I will occasionally whenever I find time to do one. And I do enjoy doing Sunday puzzles, so even though today is Monday, July 6th, 2026, I am going to be back solving yesterday's puzzle from July 5th, which I haven't done yet. And this is a puzzle by Rich Katz. It's his 10th puzzle for the New York Times and 6th Sunday. And it's called Boxed Sets. Box, the reference to box, almost certainly has something to do with cells in the grid, though I'm not totally positive of that. We'll have to wait until we see what's going on in the theme to find out. But let's dive in and see what we have today for Sunday. It's we're going to expect an expanded grid and some kind of theme. So let's see what Rich Katz has for us for Sunday, July 5th. Firm up. Well, that's going to be a phrase, I think, probably Angel's blank, distiller's term for the whiskey that evaporates during aging. Something like vapor or breath or not sure, dust, shin bone. Which one is that? The tibia, I think. Completely incompetent, inept, possibly, though let's see if that works with like this one. Oh yeah, aggressive golfer's mantra, grip it and rip it. Yeah, that's right. Bygone New York City music venue with rhyming initials, CBGB, I think is what we want there. Aid for a violin player, a chin rest, which is the little piece of rubber or plastic that they put on the sort of top of the violin to rest their chin on. Time for sat prep. Saturday? Time for Saturday prep. I guess Friday? Is that what we want? Firm up. Stiffen. Oh, not a phrase, but just a word then. To firm up is to stiffen. Okay. Marshland is a fen. A suffix for superlatives is est. Something is the, biggest. That's the superlative form. Unspecified member of a series is nth. And okay, let's see here. Elijah, Ruth, and Natalie. This looks like something like Babe in the Woods, though I'm not sure why. Angels share? The angels share. Oh, interesting. Distiller's term for the whiskey that evaporates during aging. That's the angels share. Okay. Kerouac, W, Ginsberg. So they were all beat poets, I think. Okay. Interesting. Apt name for a conchologist. I don't know what that is. Someone who studies shells? Eardrums? I really don't know. Ear related. Oh, interesting. Oral, probably? Yanks Civil War foe. Yankees and the... I'm not sure if that's right. Colored. Hued? What has flatter feet? Why what? Interesting. Wisconsin's Eau Claire is it a lake or is it a town? I'm not sure. Nile Dam is the Aswan Dam. Triad, for example, a chord. Is this right? Organization for those leaving the workforce, the AARP, which formerly was the American Association of Retired Persons or something like that. Crocs and mocks. Those are Crocs and moccasins are both types of shoes. Capital city on the Gulf of Guinea. Is this Accra? What is Accra the capital of? Ghana? I don't remember. Dummkopf. An ass, maybe? Leading to river or rover. Red river or red rover. To assume is to co-opt. Not to assume as in to infer, but to assume as in to overtake. Oh yeah. I don't know. Oh gosh. WC, AC, DC. I don't know what they're referring to there. To achieve success, so to speak. Not sure. Chinese instrument with two strings is an erhu. Organization that accepts returns is the IRS. Buddy of the Beverly Hillbillies. What was his name? Buddy Ebsen or Ibsen or something like that. Ibsen's the playwright. Card game whose name is shouted. That's Uno. This looks like it might be the. Achieve success, so to speak. To hit, maybe? This looks like the, though, doesn't it? Maybe not. Buddy. Huh. Product displays seen at entrances to store aisles. Oh, what are those called? Gondolas? It doesn't fit. There's another name for those, I think. Broadcaster of many an NCAA game. Broadcaster singular. So I would have wanted something like an alum. Not sure. Gamer's pursuit. Kind of costume that includes a round hat and kerchief. Send a quick reminder. Send a quick reminder. Flag it or something like that. Blank bon. C'est bon, maybe, in French. That's good. Fun time. A gas or a fun time. A riot? Gamer's pursuit. This is odd to end in C. Lingerie brand with a Slavic sounding name. I really don't know. This corner is going to be a problem for me, I think. Grinders. Okay, let's see. Buddy, let's go with Ebsen like that. I'm not sure if it's right. This is not C'est bon. Because... is it product displays? This should be a plural. What else could this be, though? Word with confidence or checkout. Self-confidence, self-checkout. Knee part, often torn by athletes in brief. The ACL, the anterior cruciate ligament. Start of a reminiscence. Start of a reminiscence. Once? Maybe like once upon a time? Grinders. Don't know. Sound of an approaching subway train. Oh, grinders. Is that Euros? Oh no, Heroes. Sorry, 1 second. Residential neighborhood and truck still pounding by. Grinders is another name for submarine sandwiches. Yet another name for that is Heroes. This might be the roar of a subway train. Enforcer of traveling restrictions informally. So traveling is an offense in basketball, and so this might be an NBA ref. Big bunch. Don't know. Metric unit of weight, maybe a ton with 2 N's and an E. This Shakespearean version, the Shakespearean version of this has 3 quatrains followed by a couplet, a sonnet, I think. Big bunch, a bevy maybe. Allow someone to pass, to yield to that person. Beats by, Dre. The Beats by Dre is the audio brand of like headphones and stuff. Really weak as an excuse, lame, kind of an ableist term, but close by is near. To admit, we had to allow someone to pass. Admit is kind of like that too, but I'm not sure here. Admit. Huh. Evening that a couple spends together, say. Evening. that a couple spends together. Say, there's got to be some wordplay in there that I'm not seeing. Eroded. As trust? Eroded. Bonnie, Oscar, Clyde. Lead into sphere in the atmosphere. Oh, what are all the names of the stratosphere? I think maybe that's probably right. Hey, I know the answer. Oh, maybe like that. Pick me. Atlantic crosser 1492. The Nina, the ship. What was it called? A caravel in another grid that we had. Hammer and Hank of baseball is Hank Aaron. Maybe this is Old Testament patriarch. Abraham? Sons of Abraham? That's a thing, right? Wayne's buddy in Wayne's World was Garth. Neighbor of an Estonian. Oh, a Latvian? Estonian. Or something else. He was nay clay. I don't know. This looks like thieves. No? To see in. Evening that a couple spends together, say maybe us time. Is this that? Kind of a French word imported into English? Maybe. Blank pork dish in a Chinese restaurant. Mushu pork. I don't know if that's a real Chinese dish, but sure. Satirist Freeburg. You know, this sounds familiar, but I'm not going to come up with it. Organization concerned with plants. Maybe worker, like manufacturing plants. So OSHA, Health and Safety Organization. Madrid's land in the Olympics. So they're Madrid's land is Spain, or as they would be seen on the scoreboard in the Olympics, ESP, short for España. San Francisco's Blank Valley. You know, I've seen this in the grid too as well, but I don't remember what it is. Larry, Sue, Emma. Still not really sure what game is happening here. Small test subjects, lab rats probably. Figures related to car loans, APRs, maybe. Ragu competitor, I forget what this is. Scottish Hill, a bray. Ye Banks and Brays, maybe. Women's areas in old Muslim palaces, harems. Last stage of an insect's development. What is it called? Don't remember. Love in Lima. Lima is in Peru. In Peru they speak Spanish. I think we want amor. No way. No how. Well, not seems pretty likely there. Neurosurgeons, for example, abbreviated doctors, I guess. What was this? Maybe. Is this Prego? No way, no how. Somehow. Some salon tasks. I don't know. Folk religion akin to voodoo. Wicca? Jewish mysticism in one spelling. You know, this came up in Thursday's puzzle, but I don't know what spelling they're looking for. Map legend. at any time. Ever? Like if this has happened, not happened at any time, it has not happened ever. Map legend. Oh, a key. Maybe this is Kabbalah. That's what I had thought. That doesn't look great though. Oh, shell. Okay. Contrologist shell. Okay. Beats around the bush. Oh! Ruth Woods? Babe Ruth. In the woods. Elijah Wood. Natalie Wood. Okay. Beat poets Kerouac, Ginsberg. Around W. The bush. Okay. WC AC DC. Behind the throne. Something. WC is a wash cabin, a washroom. Another word for that is a throne. AC and DC, band or current. Do some road work on pave. Power behind the throne. Okay, I don't know what that is then. Battered by battle could be war torn. The Second Coming poet, 1919. Yeats, I think. Still don't see what that is. Something framing thieves Oscar. Oops. What is Oscar? Sign outside a broadcast booth. No, maybe it's not. Rinses salon tasks. Sign outside a broadcast booth. Probably on air then. And what is this? Oscar. Pouty mood, a snit. Something is not right here. Among, okay. Imago, okay, right, okay. Last stage of an index development, imago, and this is prego. Honor among thieves, honor, Oscar, and honor, okay. Obia is the religion, all right. I think I finally understand what's going on now. 30-ounce Starbucks size is a... I actually have no idea. They might be up in arms informally, no idea. T blank price investment firm, not a clue. I bought this before Elon went crazy, a Rufo bumper sticker on a Tesla. That's really funny. I mean, it's a moderately funny sticker, but it's a really funny thing to see in the New York Times crossword. Early email provider, AOL. Okay, Larry, Sue, Emma. I don't know which ones go with which. Mexican Mr., a senor. Rocks smelted to make steel. Don't know. You won't actually die of it. Don't know that either. Rightmost hour on a grandfather clock. That's the third hour. I. Vidi in Caesar's boast. Veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw. Vidi. I conquered. Apocryphal, of course. Veer as a ship is to yaw. Conflict sparked by an archduke's assassination, abbreviated World War I. Not on a... I don't know what this phrase is. Tale of a rustic life, an idyll. What about this one? Cinnabon, Kool-Aid, High C. Kool-Aid and High C are both sort of fruit drinks. Punches. Maybe punches. This could be Stan. Freiburg, maybe. Punches sure looks right. San Francisco's... I think this ends in an E. What could this be, though? I'm not totally confident about Stan, I guess. Is this Co Valley? or no? I'm not totally confident about that either, I guess. Those ones I'm good with. Honest? No. Honest one? Atento? That's weird. Mary Sue Emma. Don't know. Powerhouse in English football. Arsenal, maybe? It's a football club in England. Like Olympic pools. Settled down in a way. All the rage, maybe? Kind of wave, a sine wave. Rested atop, laid on. Pay no mind to ignore. Oh, settle down in a way, a lit, as in a bird on a wire, maybe. Was overflowing, teemed. You won't actually die of it, boredom. Rocks smelted to make steel, iron ore. Roll with the punches. A roll, a Cinnabon. Yes, a roll with the punches. Okay, good. Soldier for Attila. Attila commanded the Huns. Old-fashioned your. Thine, maybe? Home to Waikiki Beach, probably Oahu. Vietnam's capital is Hanoi. Whoops. Like some cars parked next to no parking signs. Toad. If you're unlucky. Long-time Tribeca restaurant where some say the Cosmopolitan was invented with the. Odeon, maybe? Last name for an unnamed person. Doe. Jane or John Doe sometimes. Van Halen of Van Halen is Eddie Van Halen. Curious could be odd. And then landfill, goose feathers, junkyard. Down in the dumps. Down, goose down. In between dumps. Ring result in brief. A TKO in a boxing ring. A total knockout. Technical knockout, sorry. Secreted away. Hid. Ron, who played Tarzan, not a clue. Two in Tijuana. Dos, another Spanish clue. Extended voyage. As seen in Christopher Nolan's upcoming film, An Odyssey. Thousands of binary digits. Kilobits, probably. So this is Ron Eli, or Eli Ron. Never heard of him. Kilobits. Okay. Black suit clubs, if you're talking cards. A good pal is a homie. California's, I think this is Loma Linda, a beautiful hill. Out of gas is empty. And lip is sass. Okay. So, two birds with one stone. Larry Bird, Sue Bird, Emma Stone. There we go. Two birds with one stone. This is atento. I have not ever heard that word before. No way, no how. Not on a bet, I guess. And is this going to be a let? He was named Clay. Ali? Muhammad Ali, maybe? I think a let is a demonym for Latvian, I think. They may be up in arms informally. Up in arms. Up in arms. Gats, like Gatling guns, but I don't see what this is gonna be. 30-ounce Starbucks size. Venti, Grande. I am not up in the Starbucks terminology. This looks like T row price, but I really, like, these are both guesses I don't know. And now I have to go back here. How does this end in U? Broadcaster of many... Oh, ESPNU. Oh, not the... I thought it was going to be a commentator, an analyst, something like that, an alum. But no, this is the channel itself we're looking for. Okay. Gamer's Pursuit. End arc or something like that? Kind of costume that includes a round hat and a kerchief. Gosh. Send a quick reminder. Okay, this must be wrong. Blank bon. Bon. Gamer's Pursuit. Send a quick reminder. Ping 2 or something? Called for quiet. Said shh. This probably will end in S then. Penny blank. Penny pincher is another phrase for a miser. End caps, maybe? Lingerie brand, don't know. Fun time, a romp, maybe. What? E-sport? Gamer's Pursuit? E-sport? Très bon. A sailor, round hat and kerchief. Olga, I guess. And ping me, send a quick reminder. Let's see if this is all right. So, where was I not convinced? Here. I'm just going to pause the video and double check everything. Hopefully I come up with the right thing. 1 second. Okay, in the interest of time, I just went and looked up what the 30-ounce Starbucks size is. It is a trenta, the word for, a word for 30. And they might be up in arms. That makes that tattoos might be up on your arms. So I think this will solve the puzzle. Okay. Let me quickly review the theme here. No revealer, except that we have boxed sets. And so I think all that means is that we have sets here, enclosed by these curly brackets here, where in some cases anyway, we have a sort of an outlier among the set. So at 22 across, we have Elijah, Ruth, and Natalie. And the answer is Babe in the Woods. And so the way that works is we have a Babe, in this case Babe Ruth, the baseball player, in two people with the last name Wood. Woods, in other words. Two Woods. Elijah Wood and Natalie Wood, both actors. At 28 across, we have beats around the bush. So we have two beat poets, Jack Kerouac and Allen Ginsberg, and surrounding in the set, W, in other words, a Bush, George W. Bush. At 41 across, we have the answer power behind the throne, referring to power, AC and DC, alternating current and direct current, behind WC, which is another and a way of abbreviating wash cabin, which is a label that you might find on a washroom door, a bathroom door, which you might refer to the toilet as a throne. Here we have honor among thieves. So Oscar is an honor, an award among two thieves, Bonnie and Clyde. At 88 across, we have two birds with one stone. So we have Larry Bird and Sue Bird with Emma Stone. Just with, in this case, not necessarily indicating any particular positioning. Here at 97 across, we have roll with the punches. And a roll here, we have Cinnabon. Again, not indicating any particular positioning, but Cinnabon is a brand of cinnamon rolls. And with punches, we have Kool-Aid and Hi-C, which are both sort of fruit punches, artificial fruit punches. And then finally, at 113 across, we have down in the dump. So down is goose feathers, goose down, and in between, inside, these two types of dumps, landfill and junkyard. So that's the theme. Quite fun to reinterpret these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 theme phrases, theme entry phrases in this way. Really fun. As for other things, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around to updating the video description with all the things that I missed. I'll do my best. But let's see if there's anything here worth talking about. These product displays ended up being end caps, which now I kind of recognize, but didn't see at the time. Traveling restrictions, we've seen this kind of clue before for an NBA referee. Ragu and Prego, both makers of various Italian food products, particularly pasta sauces. We have these two crossing clues to yield, and this one, nope, sorry, to this one, admit, see in. I have not heard this. Oh, 8 into. My goodness, it took me forever to figure out what that was referring to, but it's not some random French word imported into English, especially since the O does not make that really possible. But eroded is 8 into. Fine. Goodness. Okay, what else do we have here? Organization concerned with plants. Again, we don't want sort of greenery here, but we want plants, meaning manufacturing plants, and an organization that might be concerned with health and safety in those manufacturing plants is OSHA. We have rest at the top, laid on, crossing with settled down, a lit, kind of overlapping meanings there, so nice pairing of clues. I did not know that the Cosmopolitan was said to have been invented at a restaurant called the Odeon, but that name looked good and fit in here and turned out to be correct. I did not know that the whiskey that evaporates during aging was called the Angel's Share. That's quite poetic. Time for SAT prep. I'm not really sure why this clue has a question mark. That's fine. I don't know if there's a meaning to that I don't understand, but it seems pretty straightforward to me. I've not heard of the lingerie brand Olga, but fine. This one got me for a while. Not c'est bon, but très bon. Could have gone either way, but I didn't think of this particular way. That's fine. Conchologist must be someone who studies shells, and the name shell would be appropriate for that. What has flatter feet? Flatter feet. Oh, I see. Okay. So feet, meaning poetic feet, units of poetic meter, and flatter is to sort of flatter, to praise. So that's a really, really tricky clue for an ode, a piece of praising poetry, something that has feet that flatter, poetic feet that flatter someone, I guess. I've not heard of Obeah, the folk religion. That's I'll have to look into see where that is practiced. Not on a bet is a sort of old-timey phrase, I think, and not one that I'm that familiar with. What else? They might be up in arms. This I should have seen, I suppose. I'll have to try and remember that particular phrasing for the clue referring to tattoos. T. Rowe Price, I mean, there's no way I would have known that. I guess Muhammad Ali was née Clay. I did not know that. Interesting. This does end up being Stan Freberg, not familiar with that satirist. This does end up being No Valley, and I have seen that before in the grid, I just couldn't come up with it. Black suit is clever for clubs. And ring result is clever for a knockout in boxing. Okay, and that is the puzzle for Sunday, July 5th, boxed sets by Rich Katz. I hope you enjoyed this solve. Again, not going to be posting that frequently during the summer, but I will try and get one up whenever I can. But if you enjoyed this particular solve, please give me a thumbs up, let me know. And if you do want to know when I am posting, hit the subscribe button and you'll get the notifications to you. Thanks for joining me today on Crosshatch Puzzles, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.